Hello and welcome to Ham Nation, episode 535 for December 7th, 2022. Hey, howdy everybody. I'm Josh KI6NAZ. Welcome to, the holiday episode of Ham Nation. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up for you. But let's first say hi to our gracious hosts. Amanda's at the top today, guys, so we could do ladies first officially now. So one of Santa's little reindeer helpers. Amanda, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Boy, I have a lot of interviews, so we're gonna bring Santa on tonight, and we're also gonna be talking about Winter Field Day. So stay tuned, and Josh and I will be catching your questions and bringing them to our guests and our hosts.
Yep, we'll be taking your questions live. So we'll go next to Gordo. How you doing, Gordo?
Well, we're fine after we got all of the sand embedded off of us during the Thanksgiving operation down at the beach. The wind was blowing 35 to 40 miles per hour.
Wow.
We could take the wind, but the radio had a hard time on the push-to-talk mic when the sand embedded in there. We worked about 60 stations. Many of them are Ham Nation viewers.
Excellent. How did Chip's antenna do? Did it stay up okay in that wind?
Oh, the antenna stayed up absolutely strong, so there was no problem there. Michael Cleary was there, and we had a great time. Susie and, of course, Janet Margelli was there. We had a great time until the Santa Ana winds blew us off the beach.
Indeed. Dawn, how are you?
I'm great. I'm not wearing my Santa Claus hat tonight for two reasons. Number one, I couldn't find it. And number two, I'm not trying to hide anything.
Honesty
here,
is the best policy.
Exactly. That's right. Ask forgiveness, not permission. And also, this is December 7th. This is the 81st anniversary of Pearl Harbor. So I have my dad's flag. He was a World War II veteran, Pacific Theater, not at Pearl Harbor. And I also have my B-29 dock hat on tonight for those who flew B-29 and all the bomber missions for all of the World War II veterans, and especially those who endured Pearl Harbor. So got us into the fracas to begin with in the Pacific. So remembering those heroes 81 years ago today. Yeah, big show tonight. The first of two holiday shows. I'll try to find my hat for 2 weeks from now, Josh.
Very good, very good. Well, Amanda, you have a busy night, so why don't we just throw it to you and you can kick things off for us?
I do, and everybody watches probably not everybody, but if you watch the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade, Santa comes last. Well, tonight he's coming first. So I'd like to welcome Pete Thompson with an H and not a P, KE5GGY.
And no P. Yes. Yeah, an H and no P. So, and you got it right. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. And you've been here before, and I think you're just such a fun bunch. So first of all, we're just going to let you introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing on the air for the kiddos out there.
All right. Well, maybe I'll start with the frequency because that's pretty magical. First of all, a shout out to all the barbarians who are viewing tonight. I see them in the chat room. Hello, you guys and gals. 3916 is where I hang out. I discovered it back in 2005 when I first got my ticket, and I had to pass the code at a blazing speed of 5 words a minute. But it's a magical frequency. It's a very friendly place. We've got some fun activities every night at 9 o'clock Central. We do a trivia net, which is a lot of fun. The Freewheelers is our anchor net, our flagship net, if you will. It's at 10 o'clock Central. But information on that net or all the nets we have at 3916nets.com. And Amanda, SantaNet started 17 years ago when I was on the air one Christmas Eve with my son at my side, showing him ham radio, and another station. In fact, it was Jimmy, KC0MQS, served as the relay to bring Santa on with my son. And that's how SantaNet started, again, 17 years ago. Here we are fast forwarded to 2022, and we will probably talk to. Well, we're projecting over 1,000 children talking to Santa on 3916. So it's a lot of fun. We get check-ins from coast to coast, border to border, and the way we pull it off is we have hams strategically positioned throughout the country that serve as the relays, and that's how we make it happen every night. And if anybody's interested, they can go to cqsanta.com starting at 6:30 p.m. Central every night to get a check-in. I will tell you that weeknights leading up to Christmas week are the best time to get on because there's the shortest wait. Christmas Eve gets a little nutty. In fact, this weekend we're probably going to get hit pretty hard. But any night, Sunday through Thursday, you'll have minimal wait. But really, any night you're available to bring the kids on. It's 3916, and it's every night at 7 p.m. Central.
Wow. So how many different do you have a number of operators that help do this every year?
We do, and they're all over the USA. We've had some of the volunteers that have been with us for 12, 13, 14 years. In a given night, we'll have maybe 8 to 10. When we're short-staffed, it'll be 3 or 4, but we always have enough to cover, especially when conditions go long. We've got to have that geographic spread around the country.
Sure. Now, and can people follow along still on NetLogger? Do you guys do that?
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, if you go to cqsanta.com, you can check in for the net on terrestrial, ham radio. But we also have a live feed on the website where you can go to a YouTube live feed that we have up every night. We also have links to, I think, a couple of SDRs, software-defined radios around the country. So even if you don't have equipment, even if if you're not set up to transmit, you can still get in. In fact, we do a lot of what we call one-way SantaNet transmissions, where we'll have Santa talk to a young boy or young girl based on notes that we get at the cqsanta.com website.
Fantastic. You guys have really evolved with this process. That's for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, we've started with one kid the first night, and we've got several one volunteer. In fact, I'm going to name him right now. At W5MIX, Matt is a computer programmer, and he's put together a custom website that we use as a portal for all the check-ins. So as stations check in, our relays are giving us real-time information on how the signal is to them, so we can instantly, without doing a lot of calling around, we can instantly match up the station calling in with the relay that has the best copy.
Wow, that is pretty high tech. To be honest.
Well, 17 years, you kind of you make mistakes, and each year it seems like we're getting a little bigger, a little better, but it's all about the kids. And I got to tell you, Amanda, this is the highlight for the volunteers that get in. It's really the highlight for our net because two things, bringing kids into ham radio, sharing the magic of Christmas and really the magic of ham radio. A lot of these kids, in fact, I think anecdotally, I think we've had over 20, 30 kids through the years go ahead and get their ticket because they were so blown away by that experience on ham radio on SantaNet. So we've got a bunch of hams out there that were created as a result of that contact.
That's a special kind of treat too. And I don't know if you have these statistics, but how many kids do you think you talk to every year?
Well, it's between 800 and 1,000, and it usually builds through the year. I could get you some more information, but it would take too long. But I can get you that. In fact, maybe we can do another interview at some point, or we'll send you that info. But it's significant, and the better we get at the just the process of the net, the quicker we can get through different kids and really make it efficient, because bedtime is our biggest enemy. Bedtime at night, we start at 6:30 Central. The East Coast kids are pretty much getting to bed, so we've got to be efficient.
Yeah. So you have timing, propagation, everything takes. So Pete, is there anything else you want the net to know before we get a
just the website, cqsanta.com, okay. cqsanta.com, and then for 3916 nets, go to 3916nets.com, 3916nets.com to get more information on what we do on 3916. But if you give me a second, I heard a knock at the back door. Santa's taken the sleigh down from the North Pole, and I'm going to let him in. So if you give me like 90 seconds, we'll get him hooked up. My excuse to go get him.
Yes, go.
All right, I'll be
You're
right
good to go.
back.
I'm gonna go
Don't
find
touch
my wish list. Everybody, start searching for your wish list.
I guess it's too late to start being good now, isn't it?
Well, I'm hoping to do the Santa service where if you've got a lot of wire to put up, he'll use the sleigh and reindeer to run it over the trees. That's what I'm aiming for this year.
Right.
That's what I put on
That's
my
right.
list. Hopefully
Now,
that was a good enough boy.
you've listened to the trivia net before, huh?
I have, yeah. It's very.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Pete's a broadcaster, and you can tell Pete's a broadcaster even on ham radio. Pete's a broadcaster, so Pete does a killer job, and
He
it
does.
is so much fun to listen to. It really is.
And he really works the kids well.
Yeah, and the Santa Net is just an absolute work of art. I mean, it's amazing to hear how well that is put together, and now knowing some of the the backside and the logistics of everything. It's just even more amazing that that after 17 years they've learned how to do it right. That's for sure, and I'm sure that they'll improve it again for next year.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the phone call to Cheyenne Mountain, NORAD.
Right, and all of a
An
sudden
accident.
now, right,
Yes.
and now it's a big website and a whole big thing where NORAD tracks Santa. Yeah, it's very cool.
And in a huge network of folks that answer the phones now to
Yeah,
tell them where Santa's at currently. Josh,
Yeah.
do your kiddos get involved in that? Do they like to follow where Santa is?
They might have had the Santa. I don't know. Not as much. Let me just put it that way. Not as much.
Oh, I used to keep the NORAD website up on the laptop for Tyler when he was little. Yeah, so he could see it.
I always
Yeah,
thought it was
we
cool.
would
We never, when we were kids, we didn't have the internet, so we just had to watch
Oh.
the news to
Oh,
watch
Exactly.
right.
what they would
The
show.
weather
Right.
report and all that.
Right, right.
Really cheesy
You know,
graphic.
The old cheesy graphics going over the black and white radar with the with the spinning. I remember when radar was round and black and white. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Watching Channel 4 in Oklahoma City, and Jim Williams, who was just a legendary meteorologist back then. So yeah, just great stuff.
Always a fun time. Some of our old customs never change. It seems like it's just so
Yeah.
cute to still do it. So hopefully
And here
some
here comes Santa.
It's here.
Is he coming?
Yeah.
Hey,
Hi,
there he
Santa.
is.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Santa.
Yeah, how are you?
Nice to see you, Santa. How have you been? Are you busy this time of year?
Oh, I'm so bad. Hold on, my phone is ringing. Hold on. Oh, it's Mrs. Claus. Hold on. Hello, dear. Yes, I did take the garbage out. Yes.
Very
yes.
good. Very good.
Oh, yes, I took it. Yes, and I know your mother's coming. I'm so excited. Okay. Listen, I'm on the television right now. I've got to go. Bye, honey. I love you.
Bye, Mrs. Claus.
Women. Anyway, what
I-
can I do for you today?
I have a question, Santa, if you
Yes,
don't
go
mind. This is Don, little Don. Is it too late to start trying to be good to make your good list?
Let me see if you're on the good list, Don. Don, you made it.
Did I really?
But Gordo, not so good.
Oh, no, well, happy accidents.
Things
You know.
I
happened
knew it. Yeah.
beat last weekend that we've got to
Yeah.
talk about. But anyway, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Let's see here. Amanda, you're on the good list. Josh, you've been very good this year. So I'm going
All
to be
right.
bringing you Gordo's presents.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, anyway, all jokes aside, I've got to go home. My wife's got a list of things for me to do before her mother gets here. But listen, check into 3916, all the good boys and girls, even you bad kids. Come on in and we'll give you a hard time. Anyway, I got to go. This beard is really bothering me. It's kind of...
Oh, thank you, Santa, so much for taking time out of the busy part of your year to join us. We appreciate that. And you say hello to all the children for us. And
I will.
right.
God bless everybody. 3916. We'll see you there. Santa Dad. Ho, ho, ho. Gotta go.
Good night, Santa. Good night.
Good night.
I'm not sure. I think Santa's been in the eggnog. Little Pennsylvania Dutch in Santa's belly. That's where he gets those rosy cheeks and red nose.
That's it.
I had a whole list of things to ask him for and everything.
Santa's got in-laws coming. He's got to get
He's
home
a
to take
busy
care.
man.
Yeah,
That's it.
He's-
That's it.
Santa's got. You can email it to Santa. Santa's
Yeah,
high
yeah,
tech
yeah.
now. 21st century.
Or
Yeah.
catch them on the net, I guess. Right?
Yeah, catch him on the
Send
net.
your
There
You
radio
know what?
go.
I'll
request
just send
is
him a
that way.
WinLink message.
That's it.
There you go.
Santa's big on WinLink, big on Vara.
Yep, good work.
That's hilarious.
Thank you,
Gordo.
Santa.
I love Santa's support.
Gordo, we heard you're getting coal now, so good thing it's valuable.
Yeah.
But, take it away, Gordo. What do you got for us tonight?
Well, we'll put it under pressure and create a diamond. And speaking of a diamond, let me tell you, CQ Magazine has really pulled it together big time. And of course, helping provide the capabilities that are the great advertisers like ICOM America. But here's CQ Magazine with their December issue. They're now back on schedule after printing people dried up during COVID, and they're back strong. In fact, so strong, they heard that we were going to be talking about 10 meters and VHF and UHF here on the show. They are in the second printing, the second edition of our VHF propagation book. And this is from Ken Newbeck, WB2AMU, along with me, along with Chip Margelli, K7JA, who's added a full chapter all about propagation digitally. He's got a whole chapter on digital comms, and it's a goodie. Well, let's take a look at the high end of the high frequency band and see what lies in store for us this weekend. It all occurs on the 10 meter frequencies, 28 to 29.7. It's going to happen this weekend, the ARRL 10 meter contest, and it's voice and CW. So we're not going to lose a lot of great voice operators that are operating digital FT8. They're going to all be with microphones or CW keys. And what makes 10 meters such a popular band, much like Ken Newbeck calls the 6 meter band, the magic band, is skywaves. And for those of you that came up from the CB days of 27 megahertz, that's right next door to 28. And for those that don't have a 28 megahertz 10 meter antenna, believe me, those CB antennas, those rooftop antennas works well. Your signals are going to be going up, and ideally, because we have a good propagation for skywaves this coming weekend, we bounce signals off the ionosphere. Now, the ionosphere gets its charge from the sun. And this was a photo I took during the full solar eclipse up in the northern part of the country. And it was about a 6-minute clip. And this was a fast shot. The sun is what gives us all of the radiation necessary for the 10 meter band, including 6 meters, to come alive with sporadic E. Now, as you can see in the chart, which, by the way, my book has all of these different charts in them, the sun understands that it's got to do its thing by ionizing the E layer. And the E layer of the ionosphere, sometimes with intense ionization, will refract radio waves as high as 30 megahertz and higher. Again, all thanks to sunlight. And as we look further in our next shot, we see that sometimes when our propagation is said to be intense with a lot of sporadic E, it can actually disturb some of the signals coming down from the satellites. So when you hear reports that emergency operators and hams are going to have some unique conditions, especially the satellites, their signals sometimes are actually caught up in the E layer and delayed. The ionosphere has two areas where it gets intensely dense, and you'll see the E layer just below 100 kilometers, and that E region is what gives us the excitement around Christmas time as well as throughout the summer months for the 10 meter skywave activity that we're really hoping will start this coming weekend, because that again is the 10 meter contest. The wind shears up at 80 or 90 kilometers, many times they will create also sporadic E clouds, and these clouds drift slowly from west to east. And the wind shear, though, will leave these clouds sometimes suspended, and it will cause a sporadic E where you'll hear a skywave station, yet someone else, maybe 50 miles away, ground wave, doesn't hear squat. So sporadic E is all the fun this coming weekend on the 10-meter band. And sometimes you even get double hop sporadic E, and that'll allow us to operate coast to coast. So it's all occurring up there in the ionosphere. And it's about 60 miles up to about 100 kilometers. And the E layer is charged up by extra amounts of solar radiation from the sun. Well, let's come back down to Earth and see what we're going to do. The main portion of the technician class privileges for voice are between 28,300 and 28,500. And that's a hot area where technician class operators, including novices, now have full privileges to operate on that portion of the 10-meter band. Oh yeah, 10 meters goes all the way up to 29.7, but let me tell you, the real activity during the contest is between 28,300 and 28,500. Now, below the voice portion of the band, below 28,300 are the beacons. And these beacons are automatic. They're on the air constantly. So if you tune around on your HF radio and you hear CW, that means the band is likely open. And if you've been good and learned the CW, as Santa will tell you to do, you'll be able to decode the number in the beacon. And 5 might be Texas and 0 could be the Midwest. And you get the idea. Now, the beacon band is also a nice band to sort of tune around and see what's happening to noise. And here's a noise that you're going to hear a lot of, and you just got to put up with it. Hear that whistle? Those are Christmas lights. Well, not the LEDs themselves, but the switchers that make them do their things. So if you come across one of those sounds like this, simply turn the dial and you'll have a clear spot, hopefully for a good reception of other beacons on the band. And those are just called spurs. And these carriers come up from all the Christmas lights all around us. Your antenna is simple. About 8.5 feet of wire on one side, 8.5 feet of wire on the other side of the feed point. And, oh, you don't have any wire? Well, you're bound to have one of the leftover extension cords from the holiday season. Make sure it is not plugged in. And I'm looking right there at the plug, so I know it's not plugged in. But you're going to scavenger that by clipping off the both ends of it. And once you've clipped off both sides, again, making absolutely sure it's not plugged in, you then pull the two pieces of wire apart. And this is your normal AC wiring. And again, not connected to AC, but you're going to do about 8.5 feet on the left side, 8.5 feet on the right side. And that's where you're going to hook up your coax cable to it. And I use a little spacer like this. Now, once you have it hooked up, you want to check and see how you did. And likely, you're going to probably not see 28.6. That means you made it too short. We all make our dipoles too long. And when you make them too long, they resonate with a low SWR lower. So you're probably going to have something that says 27.6. Don't cut a thing. Simply double the wire, the ends of each side, back on itself by about 4 or 5 inches, and then take a reading. Oh, now it's getting better. Double it up a little bit more, twist them together, but don't cut the wire. You may want to use that antenna as something else later on. And once you have it, you feel fairly resonant, get it hoisted up. That's the center portion. The black thing up there is just a little choke to keep any RF from coming out of the coax. And you know, when I was hooking picking this up a few years ago. I immediately worked the station about 2,000 miles away in South America on just a little hunk of wire like this and about 20 watts. Then go into your radio, now that you got your antenna hooked up, and tune between 28,200 and 28,300. Oh yeah, you're going to bump into these, but don't worry, just tune off of them. There's CW. I can hear it in the background, and it's got a 5. Oh, it's probably Don down there, New Orleans, making noise. I like to start off by looking for signals at 28,400, but don't camp out there. That's like the calling channel on 10 meters on some of these contests. You'll look for me up about 28,410 to 28,420, up or down, but that's the center of, for technician class operators, your operating portion of the band. So 28,400, it's a great place to make contact, and then take them a little higher or a little lower, but leave that open so others can go ahead and make their contact. Early before the sun comes up on the West Coast, the East Coast, as we can see on some of these charts, is getting all of the excitement. And you can see that contacts on 10 meters are going to be about 1,000 to 1,200 miles long, single hop. Then it gets more exciting as the sun is really coming up and bombarding our E layer over the Midwest. Now signals are going from coast to coast if we both have access at getting into that E layer. And you don't need a directional antenna. A mobile whip or a simple dipole made out of lamp cord is a great way to get on the air. And then about 11 o'clock in the morning, local time, that's when things really get exciting. And that's where the East Coast is working the West Coast, and folks are working Eric up in Alaska. This is where the real excitement begins. Ken Newbeck, in fact, was on a trip down to Bermuda, and this was some of his contacts off of a little QRP radio a couple of years ago. Now, where do you get these maps? Free of charge. www.dxmaps.com. Select 28 megahertz, 10 meters, and then take a look and see what's happening for ionospheric skip. So again, your big contest is this weekend, and we encourage all of you to get on the air and make some noise. And it's just a normal exchange of signal strengths. I like to say my location, and you'll have a great time in working hundreds of stations, all taking part in the 10-meter contest. Read up about it in the, go to the internet, arrl.org, and then look at 10-meter contest this weekend, beginning in the evening on Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday till mid-afternoon. So here you are. There's all the details right there. Thank you so much, Josh, for that. So contest rules are there, and just have fun and give out as many contacts as you can. So Amanda, I'll turn it back to you, and then we'll take a look at this ICOM America on the back cover of CQ magazine. Amanda, with questions?
Oh, well, there wasn't any questions, Gordo. I think I would just like to reminisce that the 10-meter contest is probably one of the first ones I ever played in and had fun with. And it was really easy, and it wasn't a long exchange. And technicians, as you said, can get in there. So it is really a great time. So hopefully.
I do have a question.
Yeah, Josh, go ahead.
You mentioned DX Maps, and that's come up a couple of times recently. What do y'all do on that website there, Gordo, aside from just the 10-meter maps?
Once you have gone to DX Maps, and if you log in, then you're able to put in the call sign of who you just worked and your call sign, and bango, they'll publish that and show that on the maps. So what a lot of folks do is they will join DX Maps, and they will then be able to see live action between stations all over the country. But again, you need to go to the 28 megahertz band and then get in nice and close to the USA, and you'll see there we go.
Whoa.
Oh, look at this. Now
We got an opening right now to Australia?
Man, here I am on the radio.
Yeah,
and
what
I
are we
could be
doing
working
here?
Australia and gee whiz.
Get on the air right now. It's
Our
open
viewers,
to Japan.
our viewers just tanked everybody. They all went to their radios. Nobody's watching anymore.
So if that's 10 meters that you're dialed into, wow. So you folks on the East Coast, sorry. But we're sorry when you work Europe and we can't hear squat. So that's the neat thing about 10 meters.
Do you know, I'm not a member. I have never, I'm not a registered user of DX Maps. I just use it to pull up to see propagation. So I'm guilty of doing that mostly with 6 meter and 10 meters. But also, it's nice during contests to see what's still open on 15 a lot. You're like, well, is it just Central America right now or is it open to Europe? So it's helpful for a lot of things, everybody. Check it out.
Indeed.
So there you go. So I hope all of you will get on frequency. Again, you got to avoid all the birdies that are. That's not a signal. That's a birdie. You can hear the rough sounding. And no matter what kind of radio you have, you're going to pick up. There's no automatic birdie elimination. But let me tell you, my ICOM America transceivers, they really do a fabulous job with noise reduction and carrier elimination. So if you got someone behind that whistle, many times you can pull them out. That's what we do here with our older 9100 does a great job. So let's take a look and see what's happening with ICOM America, and I'll see you on the 10-meter band this weekend. ICOM?
Happy holidays from ICOM. Spice up your ham shack this season with one of ICOM's popular handhelds, mobiles, or base stations. These radios are perfect for working your favorite bands while staying inside or venturing out this winter. It's the most wonderful time of the year to give the gift of ICOM. The IC705 is the perfect sidekick and QRP companion. Base station features and functionalities at the tips of your fingers in a portable package covering HF 6 meters, 2 meters, and 70 centimeters. This compact rig weighs in just under 2 pounds with RF direct sampling for most of the HF band and IF sampling for frequencies above 25 MHz. 4.3-inch color touchscreen with live band scope and waterfall. 5 watts with the included BP272 battery or 10 watts with 13.8 volt external DC. Single sideband CW, AM, FM as well as full D-Star functions. The perfect accessory for the IC705 is the optional backpack LC192. The ID52A is a VHF-UHF dual band with D-Star and FM dual mode functions and is the first handheld radio with a full-color 2.3-inch waterfall display. This radio supports conventional FM communications and D-Star simplex, repeater, regional, and worldwide calls over the D-Star Internet Gateway. Create your own band opening with the IC9700. This radio brings direct sampling to the UHF-VHF weak signal world. The IC7300 is a high-performance HF transceiver with a compact design that will far exceed your expectations. RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope, and SD memory card slot. The real ham fun starts here. Happy holidays from ICOM America, and visit icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
Well, thanks again to ICOM. We appreciate you sponsoring Ham Nation. Guys, this is last 2 drawings for swag prizes, and just a reminder, ICOM picks 3 winners for a swag prize giveaway every time Ham Nation goes live. The link is in the description, but it's ICOMAmerica/Ham Nation. Again, link in the description to find this. And you click on the Enter Now button, and that will ask you some questions like your email, your call sign, and you'll be entered into the swag prize giveaway at the end of the month, though. Last giveaway for the year, they're giving away an ID52. So if you've been wanting an ID52, now is the time to get in on that swag pack giveaway. All right, so 3 winners this week. or this episode, is Michael P, KK4BAD, KK4BAD. Nice call sign. Jack N, W0KI, and William S, K2SAV. So there you go, guys. Make sure you get in on that giveaway. It's pretty much done for the year, and then the whole list starts over again. So just a big thank you again to ICOM. Now, I did get a question. I'll mention it right now, so since everybody's watching. I got a bit of a tradition where I build an antenna out of Christmas lights, and so that's my reminder that I put this on to mention it on the show. We will be doing it, but Saturday is Christmas Eve, so I'll be live Christmas Eve with our Christmas light antenna. I've got a big one planned this year, so hope you guys all watch. It'll be on this channel at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, or Pacific time, my standard time, local time here. So thanks, everybody, and hopefully we'll blow up some bulbs. All right, Don, take it away, buddy.
All right, who was the first swag winner with the BAD call? What's his name?
That would be Michael P.
Michael. Well, you know which list you're on, don't we, buddy?
It can't be Jackson for the last name, I'm guessing, but K4 Bad, I don't know.
Bad. He's on Santa's. He's got to be on Santa's bad list with that. That's brilliant. I love that. That's great. Good stuff. Well, congratulations all. I got a bunch of ICOM stuff around here and I absolutely love it. I got my 7600 here. There's an ID51, 100 right there. I got a couple of ID51s. My son has an ID51. Great stuff from ICOM. Just love them to death. I've had a 706 Mark II G or 3, had a 7000, had a bunch. Anyway, let's just, while I count my ICOM stuff, why don't you roll that beautiful bean footage of the Amateur Radio Newsline headlines of the week. Good. From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2353, this is Ham Nation Headlines for Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. We begin this week in space, where a troubled orbit has detoured a Japanese amateur radio project that was heralded as the world's smallest moon lander.
Omotenashi, developed by the JAXA Ham Radio Club in Japan, carried the promise of putting amateur radio on the moon's surface when it launched on November 16th from Kennedy Space Center in the US. Now the chance to transmit a beacon in the amateur radio 70-centimeter band from a lunar QTH has been put into question. The CubeSat was a secondary payload aboard NASA's Artemis 1 mission. The Ham Radio Club's website for JAXA reports that orbital errors have resulted in an unstable radio signal for its communications. The website also reports that the solar cells face away from the sun, making it problematic to charge Omotenashi's batteries. Having missed the chance for a moon landing, organisers are regrouping. This is Jason Daniels, VK2 LAW.
December is the month of Christmas, clearly with the focus on the young and young at heart. As Newsline anchor Stephen Kinford tells us, December is also about youth. On the air.
December is going to be a busy month for the younger generation of amateur radio operators around the world. Using the YOTA suffix, YOTA, in their call signs, hams ages 25 and younger will be on all bands using all the modes at various times of the day and night. At any given time, you will be able to hear Argentina's young amateurs using LR1 YOTA, hams in Honduras using HQ2 YOTA, or young operators in El Salvador calling QRZ as YS1 YOTA. Here in the United States, the call signs will be K8Y, K8O, K8T, and K8A, with the single letter suffixes spelling YOTA. Last year's young amateurs logged 119,516 QSOs. Can they top that this year? The month will also present them with the challenge of round 3 of the YOTA contest, which will take place on the 30th of December from 1200 to 2359 UTC. For more details, follow the link in the text version of this week's newscast script at arnewsline.org.
If you're counting down the days until Christmas, here's a little help with counting things down. Just count to 12 for the return of the popular 12 Days of Christmas special event.
Is that a partridge in the pear tree? Or did someone just hang a dipole in its place? Are those 9 drummers really drumming, or are they actually DXing? With the return of the 12 Days of Christmas special event this year, you just can't be sure what those 9 drummers, 10 pipers, or 7 swans are up to. but we do know that hundreds of hams around the world will be listening for them. Their special event call signs will be on the air for a fourth year, starting on December 14th and ending on Christmas Day, December 25th. Operators will be using CW and SSB and making use of one satellite. As in previous years, they'll be using one-by-one calls that begin with either a W or a K, but this year things will be easier for those who wish to rotate their beams. The calls will also contain a stroke and the operator's numerical call area. So get ready to start listening for all those calling birds and earn a downloadable certificate to make the season as bright as 5 golden rings. This is Mike Askins, KE5CXP.
Before we close, just a moment of remembrance for the lives lost in the attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, Sunday morning, December 7th, 1941. Heroes, one and all. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With Jason Daniels, VK2LAW, Stephen Kinford, N8WB, Mike Askins, KE5CXP, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation. And unfortunately, we don't have Tamitha Skov tonight, Dr. T, but you can always check in with her on her Twitter page at Tamitha Skov, and check out her videos on her YouTube channel, Tamitha Skov, and also check her out at spaceweatherwoman.com. You know, we had Santa Claus on for the 3916 Santa Net. We've got the 12 Days of Christmas special event, but also something that goes on via Echolink is the Santa Watch Net on Christmas Eve. That's on the Dewdrop In conference server. What is that? 355-800, I believe, Amanda? I believe that's...
I think so.
Yep, and that happens at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Christmas Eve. So be sure to check into the Santa Watch Net coming up on the Dewdrop In Echolink conference server. Very good stuff. And you know, Amanda, now that it's wintertime and having gone through, oh my gosh, just the turmoil in the Gulf South of sweaty field days and getting carried away by mosquitoes and trying not to step on alligators down here in South Mississippi and Louisiana. The appeal of winter field day certainly is calling me. And I think you have some guests that are going to talk about that.
I do. I'd like to introduce everyone to, we have Michael Turner and we have Marvin Turner. Any relation, you guys?
Oh, maybe just a little bit. We might be brothers.
You might even look like it. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. And you're going to talk all things about Winter Field Day. And I kind of call this the Southerners' dream come true, because this is their chance to shine when it's not sweltering out. But I think people go above and beyond and get crazy in other ways too. And they will really go hardcore in a tent out in the snow and put up portable heaters. But anyhow, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I apologize. So you two are some of the new coordinators for Winter Field Day. So Michael, I'll send it to you first. Tell us how you got involved.
Yeah, well, my name is Mike. I've been a extra class amateur radio operator for about 20 years. I'm in the Stones River Amateur Radio Club and the American Legion Amateur Radio Club. I also own Club Gear Online, and we do like photo merchandise, amateur radio merchandise, stuff like that. So we're both really active in ham radio. And when we heard that Winter Field Day was going to kind of be passed on and they were looking for new leadership, my brother called me up one time and said, hey, I want to do this. And I'm like, what did you get me into?
There's nothing like being thrown under the bus with your brother driving it. What about you, Marvin? Same thing. You just you have a passion for this and you wanted to help take it over?
Yeah. So a little bit about me is I'm an extra class operator. I've been licensed since 1995, and I'm the president of the Stones River Amateur Radio Club, and also now the president of the new Winter Field Day Association here in Tennessee. And he's right. It was kind of one of those things. They were looking for somebody to take it over last June, and I said, well, you know what? That's a good thing to keep going. We enjoy doing it locally as a club ourselves, and why not make this a bigger deal and find ways to improve its efficiencies and help continue the mission of Winter Field Day and emergency preparedness. I've been in law enforcement for 18 years and retired, now in the IT world, but it was just finding another way to serve and continue to keep kind of that public service and emergency management of radio operation from the ham radio side alive.
All right. Well, so let's talk about, let's pretend some of our viewers have never participated in Winter Field Day. So, Mike, you want to tell us what's it about? You're saying emergency preparations, things like that. So just give us a rundown of how it works.
Yeah, I think we're both into emergency communications and emergency preparedness, especially whenever it comes to amateur radio. And really, the mission of Winter Field Day is to just encourage emergency operating preparedness during the winter months. You know, when it's freezing, you have snow, ice, and other hazards that just create unique operational challenges. That's the thing that Winter Field Day kind of is set apart from what people would know as ARL Summer Field Day. And you're right, Don. The people in the South really do like Winter Field Day because it's a whole lot comfortable down there for sure.
Yeah, I see the appeal.
Yeah, but the people in the north at the same time, you know, they're not afraid to get out there in a tent, and they'll set up an ice fishing tent out on a lake and set up a beam and take advantage of you know, what we do and really exercise their abilities. So that's kind of what the objective and the mission is just get out there and practice things when the conditions are not favorable.
Okay, so Marvin, we don't like to compare it to Summer Field Day, but we have to because they have the same names. So is it the same 24-hour operations, see who you can contact and where, same modes, those kind of things? Give us a rundown.
So it's very similar operationally. I mean, we do set up for a 24-hour period. We have a class, we have a category. We're using the same sections, whether it be like South Texas or Western Pennsylvania. You know, it's some of the same, technically like N3 FJP, who about 60 to 70% of our users end up using that logging software. He has a Summer Field Day logging software. He also has a Winter Field Day one. And so we want to make sure we do encourage people to use the Winter Field Day logging software. But you know, you'll see the same sections in there. And one thing that we've done is, I'll talk about something new real quick, is we've added MX for this year, and that being MX from Mexico. And so we've added that as a new destination this year to reach as well. We still have DX in there as well for like Canada and other places, but Mexico is one of our new ones.
Okay, so what's the point basis? Is it, again, your class level? If you're running 100 watts, you get 1 point per QSO, or how's it working?
Mike, you want
Yeah, well, we have the full rules available on the website. If you go to winterfieldday.com, there's a tab up there and how to participate. And if you want to participate, you can check out some resources. You can download the full rules in a PDF, or you can just read them right there on the website. But you do have, you know, your class and your category, and then if you make a contact, that would be a point. And we also have multipliers for different bands and modes that you used. And then we have the bonus stations, or the bonus points. And that's kind of one of the things I'm excited about because, you know, like Marvin said, we added MX. We also added 2 additional bonuses this year. So we have an antenna bonus of 500 points. If you set up an antenna dedicated for Winter Field Day and you're just going to go out and operate and set up an external antenna that's not pre-existing, you get 500 bonus points for going through that extra effort and trying to set that up. And then if you're a mobile category, and we actually have a mobile category in the past, it's been home, indoor, outdoor. And this year we added a mobile category.
You want to explain a little bit what mobile is?
Yeah, it's actually mobile stationary. So if you're in a car, boat, RV, plane, cargo trailer, you know, anything like that, that could potentially have wheels or move, in previous years, you may have operated in outdoor, but now you're going to fall under a mobile stationary category. So you're going to be 1M or 2M. Okay. However, the bonus points are only if you're truly mobile. If you're in a car using a car antenna, you get those extra bonus points for being in a car and not being able to erect that beam or that 65-foot antenna.
So does that mean that my 32 by 80 double wide doesn't count as mobile?
It does not.
Probably not.
Probably
it
not
had
mobile.
wheels at one point.
Oh man,
it's definitely stationary now.
Listen, he's looking for redneck field day. Wrong.
South Mississippi mansion, man. That's my South Mississippi mansion. Don't diss me.
But as you can see, some things have changed. You know, so since we took over we've only been doing this since June. So it's been a cram session, learning the rules, getting a feel for everything, getting everything transferred over to us, and
I can understand.
Yeah, we had to do a lot of effort for that. But now that we have it, we're kind of excited about the changes that are going to be happening and what we've already put in place. And we're really looking forward to having a winter field day for years and years to come. And we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And so one of my questions is I follow Winter Field Day on Facebook. Is it the same page as I was following before, or did it change?
Yes, so all that remained the same, even on Twitter. That's all the same. Our web page did change, and that has a whole new look at it. And thank you, Josh, for bringing that up and kind of reviewing that and showing people where you can find that. And you can find that at winterfieldday.com. We still got a few things. We have a field day locator site we're trying to get up. We're working with a webmaster right now to get that squared away. And then also we had a thing going on with contacts, and you can go into a form field and send us a question. But we've had to go in and change that because we're getting spammed so heavily. Just go ahead and email us if anyone has a question to wfda@winterfieldday.com, and we'll be glad to answer those questions. And it's probably going to be one of us too that are directly responding to that email. But I don't want to not having the rest of my board. I have Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, Jason Johnson. He's on the board. He's kind of our social media manager. And then we have Melinda out of Chattanooga, and she is our treasurer. And then we have, oh my gosh, I'm drawing. James Copeland out of Kansas.
AKA the Radio Nomad.
And he is our secretary, and he's just done our newsletter, and that will be coming out here probably in the next couple of days, if not beginning of next week.
Yeah,
and so that'll be coming out as well. So we have a great board comprised of a lot of people from around the country, and then we've got some advisory members that were from some of the old board as well that are doing some of the scoring and things like that, and so they're helping us out as well. So it really takes a full team to be able to make this happen.
It most certainly does, and I bet it takes a little bit of money too. How do you fund your website and coordinating all of this?
Well, very similar to Ham Nation, ICOM America is a great sponsor for us, and thank you for bringing that up. We do have certain levels of sponsorships. It does take money to build the website and to be able to keep things going a little bit, and so there's different ways you can become a sponsor with us. And you can do that as a corporate sponsor. We've got a club sponsor. We have individual donors as well. And if you're interested in doing some type of sponsorship with us, we'll get your name on the page. We'll get you out there. Just email us, and I'll give you back that form, and we'll fill that out and give you a better idea, and we can have more of a conversation offline about it.
Perfect.
Another thing I want to add too is with all the things that we've added and changed so far, we now have a Discord group. And before we didn't have, we realized not everyone's on Facebook, not everyone's on Twitter. So we now also have another way that you can interact with other people who enjoy Winter Field Day, share pictures, have individual group chats and stuff like that. And that's through Discord link. So we have a Discord link along with the Twitter, the Instagram, and the Facebook page. So make sure you follow us on there too, Amanda.
Of course, I better get to. I have a certain dislike for Discord, but I will work it out. No, but everybody. Josh knows what I'm talking about. Anyhow, well, everyone, you cannot miss out their information then, because you have at least 3 outlets plus their website. So that's actually 4, and you got a great team, obviously. So tell me, what's kind of your turnout? What are you expecting for a turnout?
Well, in the past, last year, they had 2,500 submissions. That submitted a log format, and over 6,000 participants. So we think that's a good number, but our goal is kind of just to grow Winter Field Day and encourage that emergency preparedness. We want to see more people participating because we know, with Murphy's Law, nothing ever goes as planned, and the more you practice, the better that you get. So, our goal is to just have people participate, and we would like to see triple, quadruple that. If we get 30, 40,000 participants every year, that would be pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
That's a fantastic goal, definitely. And just to verify now, all modes, so it is FT8, CW, everything is open?
No, not really. So we've had a lot of
Okay.
questions around that, and we
Clarifying.
worded the rules this year in such a way that we've kind of said that it's the way that you can receive or send the needed qualifiers and elements of the transmission. And so a lot of people are starting to interpret that. So, man, they've opened that up to FT4 and FT8 now, and that's absolutely not the case. FT4 and FT8 will not be allowed at Winter Field Day. One, it's a request of the previous board that said, hey, we'd not allow this. We want to make sure we continue that mission. And so we're going to continue to honor that on their behalf. And then the second thing is that it doesn't do the proper exchange level format that you need. So
I understand.
So it is pretty much wide open. Everything should be on the rules on the website there. But you can do like JS8 call as another option, but no FT4 or FT8 during
Okay.
Winter Field Day.
One of the things that we really talked about as a board, and even taking this over from the previous board, is remembering the core purpose of Winter Field Day and what it's all about. And it's not to get those points and make 1,000 contacts and be the top scorer. It's really setting objectives for yourself, achieving those objectives. Were you able to operate off grid? Were you able to operate for more than 3 hours? Were you able to set up an antenna and stuff like that?
Yep.
One of those things is, are you able to send the messages that you might have to send in an emergency? Can you say, hey, we are at this location, we need help, or we need these supplies. So things like WinLink, JS8 call, things that will allow you to do those messages are totally fine.
Yeah.
APRS, you can send a message over APRS and get it out there. So that's one of the reasons why FT4,
FT8. Yeah.
It's one of those things where we don't allow that one because it really doesn't align with the goals and the purpose of what we want you to be able to achieve.
And the same thing goes for DMR radio because it's going through a digital repeater. There's no repeater operation, so there's no DMR either. Just for FYI for people out there if they're asking about that. So
What if it was simplex?
Simplex, absolutely, yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, makes sense.
DMR to DMR, absolutely.
Sure.
We want to structure the organization in such a way that people have flexibility to set up and operate how they want. We want it to be a learning experience, not full of like rules that people must follow, but we want to make sure they have goals that they can achieve, and we want them to achieve those goals. We're excited about what's to come.
Yeah.
I think it sounds fantastic. And just to know, people go out and put some pretty wacky antennas up, I think, for this and go all out. And as you say, it's I'm sure you've seen some great pictures. I haven't checked them all out, but I'm sure you're familiar.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff that people are submitting pictures of Winter Field Day tents and stuff on our Discord channel. We've got things just for Winter Field Day pictures, and some of the tents and setups that we've seen is like, wow, some pretty incredible stuff. So
it's more than just going out and operating at a picnic table and stuff like that. They're prepared for the long haul, with wood stoves inside of these tents and stuff.
They are.
But we do appreciate the people that just they can come out and set up for maybe an hour and communicate. A lot of Parks on the Air people, they say, hey, can we do Winter Field Day and Parks on the Air at the same time? And we're like, absolutely, you can. So
yep.
Okay, so POTAs and everything, and they all at the same time. What else do you want our audience to know, fellas?
That's most of it. I mean, we've done a lot of changes. There are probably going to be more changes to come, but we want to be exclusive. It's truly now a North American event with the inclusion of Mexico and having that MX location identifier. Everyone else is DX. And then we have all the Canadian stations too. So we're truly a North American event.
But we even had some international stations participate in the years past. And so, not unheard of to have some Winter Field Day stations come in to bring in their logs from overseas as well. So it's mostly North American, but there is some few, I'd say, maybe a half a dozen or a handful or so more that are sometimes international. But overall, like Michael said, it's just it's an event that we want people to go out and prepare. Batteries don't last as long. Do generators hold up? Can you hold up? Are you being safe with cold weather gear, things like that? Are you prepared for yourself to stay out there for long periods? So it's just a good test of your elements and what you can do, and have some fun at it and make some great contacts across the country as well. And
I think one final thing I'll mention is because this is yet another change. Things are going to change. Some things aren't. The core purpose and the values are going to stay the same. It's an emergency winter event. How it's structured and stuff like that may end up changing, but the goals are the same. We have changed this year to allow not what I'm looking for, like pre-solicited QSOs. You can't, call up your friend and say, hey, I'm going to be on the air at this time.
So like pre-scheduling.
Yeah,
right.
Not that. However, if you're on the air talking to someone 20 meters and you say, hey, the bands are opening up, you want to go over to 10 meters and see if we can make a contact, that's all fair game.
Good point.
The POTA people, they can spot themselves. They can use DX clusters. You can use WinLink to email your friend and say, hey, I'm on this frequency at this time. Because in a real emergency, you might do that. You may say, hey, the bands are changing. Let's go talk on 440 instead of 2 meters, or let's go to something more private.
Good point.
And you may switch frequencies during the emergency. So why not practice that,
Right.
So during the event and using amateur radio related things like, beacons and things like that, you can now solicit QSOs. You just can't pre-solicit them before the event.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And we do have a lot of comments. A lot are saying thank you so much for keeping this going and organizing this event. You can see Ryan Ferrari said, I just missed it.
Oh, sorry. Clicked it right into those.
Always looks forward to field day. And I think a lot of people do, just because it's something different. And it's in the middle, it's right before the next contesting schedule block of February and March, that kind of thing. So people are looking for a way to get outdoors and do something. So, well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And hopefully you'll get a lot more views now and a lot more participants. So.
Oh yeah, we ask that people be patient with us as there are growing pains and learning curves taking over a huge organization.
Yeah.
It was big before we started, and we want it to become a well-known name, just like Summerfield Day. We want people to look forward to it, participate in it. So thank you for everyone who's done it in the past, and we'll keep it going for you.
Yeah, just one last thing is just subscribe to our Discord, Twitter, Facebook pages. And look forward to hearing you on Winter Field Day. And again, probably in a week or so, we hope to have the link up for the Field Day location page. And so we encourage everybody to go out and submit their location for Field Day and like to know how many stations are kind of being put together and where they're doing it at. And so if somebody locally, either publicly or another friend wants to come find you, that's the perfect place to go do that. And take a look at our newsletter that's coming out in here probably about a week as well. Have a great chili recipe and some great news in there for you as well.
Yeah, thanks for having us on Ham Nation. We're avid watchers every Wednesday, and we love Ham Nation and love being on here to talk to your viewers, and we appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Of course,
Thank you.
And you'll have to come back on and tell us how you did and how everyone else did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll be glad.
K6ARK also says Winter Field Day is a blast. Thanks for organizing. So. It looks like you've got a lot of people looking forward to this. So,
and I personally like the fact that you put it in the dead of freaking winter too. That's what it was 83 degrees here today in South Mississippi. So it would not have felt like Winter Field Day if it was this week. So yeah, congratulations guys. You guys are doing a great job in taking it over, and I think it's just going to grow from here under your leadership. So good job.
Definitely.
Thank you, Don.
Nothing short of a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas and
Merry Christmas to you guys.
We feel underdressed. I don't have my lights or my Santa hat or anything on.
No, but you got the Winter Field Day shirts on. Those are slick.
Oh, yeah, you got to rep.
And stay warm, okay? Stay warm.
A shameless plug here because we are designing an all-new Winter Field Day flag. We have shirts by JSE Repair. They do a lot of POTA stuff. So JSE Repair is going to do our apparel and jackets and shirts and stuff like that. Club Gear Online, like I said, we're going to have stickers. We have mugs, a nice big 15-ounce mug. So shameless plug for that. Make sure and that's another way to support Winter Field Day too, is you can go to JSE Repair Club Gear Online, and they give back to the Winter Field Day Association, some of those sales. So that helps with the website and the hosting and the development and stuff like that. So
Nice.
support those who support us. Go support ICOM. If you're going to need a new HF radio before Winter Field Day, check out ICOM and what they have, because
That 705 is great for taking outdoors. Portable.
absolutely
Yes, it
that's what
is.
So, yeah, we got some more Winter Field Day stuff coming on the Josh. I see you're showing the page there, but yeah, we got some more stuff popping up here pretty quick. I think the flag should be in the mail this week here to us. So.
Oh, that's cute. I love that mug.
I'm digging that coffee cup. I like the heck out of that.
And like I said, it's 15 ounces too, so it's that nice bigger one, and the call sign is on the other side.
Nice.
There's another picture if you see the other side of it. There you go.
Man. I gotta get
Nice.
Shut up and take my money.
That's cool. Yep. All right, I got to get one of those.
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you,
drop
Mike.
the
Thank
link
you,
in the chat
Marvin.
for everybody.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Have
And
a good
link will be
evening,
in the
gentlemen.
description for everybody watching after the fact. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you being on.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Joshy.
Thank you.
Josh,
All
you,
right.
do you do Winter Field Day, Josh?
Oh yeah, from the beach. It's a little bit colder than Gordo during Thanksgiving. The last time it got really gnarly out there. I was just south of Pendleton, Camp Pendleton. So I had the Marines backing me up on my beach operation. But I had to put on a long sleeve and pants in the evening.
Oh, my
that was a
God.
little rough.
And maybe socks.
Got all the way down to 60.
Yeah, I think high 50s.
Okay.
It was getting California chilly, is what we like to call it. It's getting a little chilly out there.
Okay.
But so yeah, no, I love Winter Field Day because the other option I have is my dad's place, which is actually at 6,400 feet. Big Bear, California, it's like Colorado.
Nice.
It's snowed
It
out.
is, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll probably be up there this year, is my guess. So.
Very nice.
I've only ever done it from home and just given people QSOs that are calling.
Yeah.
Which, that's the other way to go if you're not going to go out and do it. But
I have to
think I'm gonna do
reiterate, the mission statement this is preparing for emergency communications. And I love the concept of setting a goal. Set yourself a CQ, like a QSO goal, an hours of operation goal, because guess what? You probably don't have solar, so you're not going to be self-sustaining. It's likely going to be, the battery you dragged out there, and they get really cold. Hot tents are a big thing right now. Somebody asked, is the goal to be uncomfortable? No, and in fact... I love that, Greg, though. That was funny. It doesn't have to be, because you got all these things like hot tents now, which are just awesome, super awesome.
Right.
Yeah, the world of ice fishing has invaded winter outdoors, so consider a hot tent. That works great.
my goodness. Well, I think people have a lot of fun with it. And I do see some extreme photos, and I'm like, y'all are crazy. But good on you.
That looks like it'll be a lot more comfortable doing Winter Field Day down here in the deep south than it is doing ARRL Field Day. That's for sure, with the heat and the humidity and everything else, thunderstorms and everything. So yeah,
just a different way of looking at it. But yeah, that's
exactly. And I also like the fact that it's very, very much emergency communication oriented. Probably more so than the ARRL Field Day, which has just turned into a contest. I understand that's what it's all about still, but it's so huge now that it's just a great big contest. And I like the fact that, no, you can't use FD4 and FD8 because they're not really applicable for emergency use, but all these other things are. And I like that. They're taking that in a good direction.
I would like to see some areas groups. I give you a challenge here.
Absolutely.
If you could not participate during set, because of whatever thing, our group couldn't.
There you go.
Do it then. Take your group out, set up something, send some WinLink messages, submit your logs, and see what you can make happen. So
treat it as a set. Just treat it as a simulated emergency. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They have plenty of people to work on the air. So
yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for watching Ham Nation again. We'll be back
we're
in
just
2 weeks. 2 weeks away from another cool episode. I don't know what the topic's going to be, but it'll probably be.
You know what? I was
Christmassy.
actually going to see if we could get Tim Duffy on for last minute ham radio.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Absolutely.
Because they're the only one that's going to be able to ship on December 20th, and you're still going to get it by Christmas. So I'll see you back.
Good. That's true.
Right. And
they are the Amazon. They are the Amazon Prime of the ham radio world.
They
that's
absolutely
for sure.
truly
they
are.
Stuff to you so fast.
They really do, and they're fantastic and a great group. It's so knowledgeable. So
like
not
by
trying
the
to have
time you hang up the
forum,
phone,
but they really are.
by the time you submit the order online or hang up the phone, the delivery guy, 10 minutes later, he's pop at your back door with a DX Engineering.
Faster than my DoorDash.
They really are. Yeah, really.
I would go over the nets. I know that 14 Charlie is happening for D-Star, but I didn't see Steve or Kev on chat. So don't know about 40 meters. Look on 7192, everybody, and see if they're
The usual
rolling on.
spots.
Yeah, you'll find them. All right. So with that, have a great week, everyone.
I'm scrolling around to 7192 and I don't. Oh no, there's people there. I'll have to wait until we finish to go check it out. All right, everybody. 73. I'll play you out.
Good night, all.
73.
See you in 2.
Get your hot tents.
I don't even know what a hot tent is.
It's literally a
hot
tent for ice fishing. It's a tent you put over the ice fishing hole, and it's insulated, super insulated, keeps you warm. Works great.
I did not know that.
People put the tent in the hot tent, and it gets even warmer. A tent in a tent.
I do like that.